welcome back to everyone who is already a subscriber to the channel. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now. Not only is he a legendary Pittsburgh MMA fighter on a 3-fight pro win streak and of 7 wins of his last 7 fights, he's had 6 wins. He is also, this is a big accomplishment. What, sir? All right. He is also, as way of introduction, he is also the interviewee, the pro fighter and fighter who has been on MMA Fancast more than anyone else, and that is Justin, the General Patton. Welcome to the show, Justin.
What's up, dude? How you doing?
Hey, it's great to have you on the show. I know we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but I feel like we will get through it, so hopefully this all works out okay. Always great to see you. You are coming on the show. I joke, it is true that you're the fighter that's been on the show the most, so I really appreciate that. But you have such a great streak going. The 6 out of 7 fights, the 3 in a row, taking on better and better and higher caliber opponents every time, showing off a lot of skill, a lot of development, really being a great fighter for Pittsburgh. You have a fight coming up for Brawl in the Burgh 23, September 21st, which is a Saturday at Monroeville Convention Center for 247 Fighting Championships. Very, very exciting. You like to take several fights a year when you can. So how'd this fight come together, and what are your thoughts coming into it?
We were looking for someone for September, and Ron Cafaro commented on the post that he'd like to share the cage with me, so I'm his Huckleberry, you know? Might as well make it happen.
Wow. Well, that is always fun to see some of the behind the scenes matchmaking. Sometimes fighters volunteering goes a long way, you know, whether it's amateur fighters, pro fighters, a lot of times just being willing and just throwing your hat in the ring goes a long way. I think it is somewhat important to do that appropriately like he did. Sometimes fighters start to do it in maybe a disrespectful way, which is not a great idea. Every once in a while, you've pointed that out on the show that, you know, if you feel disrespected, sometimes, you know, you put the hurt on him in the cage. We had that situation happen once. But anyhow, good for him, you know, calling out, ready to take a fight. I think that helps quite a bit. You want to stay busy. He wants to stay busy. I know he has a good record, 11-6, and has fought in the CFFC and Bellator. What do you know about him, or is it just a matter of somebody willing to take the fight?
I know he's good. I mean, he's been around for a while. He actually fought one of my teammates back in the day, Chris Mitchell, when I was fighting at the Fight Club. I actually was in Chris's corner for that fight. It didn't last very long, but he's good. I mean, he's well-rounded. He's good everywhere. It's a good test for me.
Yeah, and that's the type of fighter you like to fight. You represent the Mat Factory and really all of Pittsburgh, considering you guys cross-train all those things. Your girlfriend is the head Waynesburg University, first ever Waynesburg University head female wrestling coach. That's going to be super exciting. That's going to bring her and you down to my neck of the woods in Waynesburg a little bit more, which is super exciting. So can't wait for all of that. What's it been like, excitement level, you training for this fight, and her also getting ready to be a head wrestling coach at a Division III college?
I mean, she keeps me accountable for real. Tries to kill me every chance she gets when we're training. Her wrestling's getting better and better. She keeps trying to catch me in chokes any chance she gets. Like tonight, she locked up a rear. I let her start on my back. She locked up a rear naked choke, and she had my chin, not my neck, and was trying to kill me. And I had to like force myself to breathe and man out of it because I'd go to sleep before I let her sub me.
Listen, just so you know, if she puts you to sleep, that's still a submission. It's just not.
But I didn't tap though, so it doesn't count.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. Okay, that makes sense. Sure. Hey, listen, you do what you got to do in your relationship. I'm just saying. But no, it's really always great to see you guys doing well, Can't wait to see her on campus and all the great things she does for Rainsford University and women's wrestling. For you, I believe, and I think this is public knowledge, and if it's not, then we won't talk about it. But I believe you're on an exclusive contract with 247. That has been announced. Is this your last fight on it, or second to last? Like, where are you on that contract?
Um,
If you're able to talk about it, if not, we'll change the topic. No problem.
I I would like to fight in December if they find me someone, you know what I mean? I'm always down to fight. I seen something with the most active UFC fighters are Alex Pereira and Kevin Holland since 2021. They've had Kevin Holland's had 10 fights, Alex Pereira has had 11. This will be my 11th fight since 2021. So just like to stay active, you know, it's how I pay my bills. Um and I really want to get to that next level. So the only way you can do that is by getting in the cage and fighting tough people and getting wins, you know what I mean? So I just want to stay active, keep busy, you know, keep fighting.
Well, it's been shout out to you and obviously those fighters for you're right there with them with staying that busy. I mean that's been your attitude the whole time. I also think it's been great for 247. If my memory serves me right, you're the first ever fighter signed to a multiple fight exclusive deal. I've also done it with Lucas Sniper Siebert and some other people, I believe now. But really, that contract, you've done an incredible job. You've got on this 6 of 7 win streak. You've really shown your skills. You keep getting better. With the 3 fight win streak you're on now, and the confidence and the training, how do you kind of keep the newness going to continue? Because once you make it to the next level, which at this point, I believe I'm talking to you kind of like I did first couple times I had Kama the Death Star Worthy on the show, where it was known that he would be going to one of the big shows soon, and then he ended up going to the UFC and making an incredible knockout of the night and upset of the year debut. So I feel like it's only a matter of time before you go to whatever that next level happens to be. And then at that point, you're the new guy again. You got to start, you got to start all over. So you're dominating the regional scene at a very high level for 247 that puts on a great card, a great show, and is a great promotion, in and of itself. So how do you keep things fresh, and how do you keep kind of the excitement for training to continue to develop?
I just understand that I'm blessed every day to do it, you know. Um, my coaches push me, my training partners push me. Um, and just great gratitude. You know, I'm grateful that I get to get up every day. Every morning I wake up and I thank God that I'm alive and I get to do what I love to do. You know, there's people that I mean, I said it after my last post fight interview, but you just gotta gratitude. You're thankful. God didn't have to wake you up today, you know what I mean? And I every day, every morning, as soon as I wake up, I thank God, you know what I mean? Read a little bit of Bible and just start my day off good, you know.
Well, that makes perfect sense. And you're following in the footsteps of not only, at this point, billions of Christians, but you're also following the footsteps of King David from the Old Testament, who wrote Psalms. He wrote the psalm that said, "This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." And there are days that you and I have been through that is harder than other days. I think every day is a blessing to be alive and to be worshiping the Lord. So thanks for sharing that with us. Even when it's a rough day and you're whether it's a medical issue, or you're going to a funeral, whatever it is, it's still a day that the Lord has made. And it's still an opportunity to be grateful. So really appreciate you sharing that. And that does go a long way into everything you do, right? The Bible also has a verse that says, whatever we do in word or deed, we're to glorify the Lord, right? And that's doing the best at what we are. That's being, it's not just being the best fighter, but it's the attitude you have in being the best fighter. It's the attitude you have in your relationships. And obviously, oftentimes when I'm in the cage with you and you're winning, you're bringing your nephew in. I know you're an incredible uncle for him. And my uncle John helped raise my twin and I. Incredible guy. He's like my second dad. So I know how important an uncle nephew relationship can be for forever. Shout out to him, but forever, and how much that means. So when you think about this, when you think about this fight, you've been on this show so much. There's not too much more we're going to cover other than you mentioned gratitude. And I know one of the things that you keep your gratitude high for is not only the Lord, most importantly, in your relationships and things, but also the people that are in your corner, the people that train you. We've talked so much about the legend coach Isaac Greeley and all the coaches and all the support around you. But let's talk a little bit about the sponsors because they're supporting you in a different way. Financial is obviously a big deal. So that's a big gratitude for you. You always ask before the show starts to make sure that you can shout out your sponsors. I'm honored to provide you and any other fighter the opportunity to thank their sponsors because that does make a difference. And I always encourage people out there that might have a business or might want to sponsor a fighter for whatever reason to sponsor them when they're amateurs and early pros because that's where you're going to make the big difference. They might not have the name that they have when they get down the road, but at the same time, they're not going to get to that point without the sponsorships early. So really, really appreciate everyone sponsoring. And what are your sponsors?
Well, I wanna thank Burgh Stock Construction. Um, he actually gave me a job. He lets me work still while I'm in fight camp. Work 1 day a week, pays me, takes care of me. Dave Bargerstock, real good dude. Alex McGraw Construction, that's my buddy who actually got me the job with Dave. Real good dude, grew up with him. We both were doing bad stuff when we grew up, like causing trouble. We both changed our life around for the better. Um, uh, ACC, Allegheny County Customs, my buddy Nick owns it. He actually is the one who, when I was running low on money last camp, I didn't have money to get food and whatnot. He came through and made sure I was eating, took care of me. Again, another one of my friends that we grew up getting into trouble, doing bad stuff. He turned his life around and for the better. Um, Skin deep tattoo. Did my monkey or my Caesar tattoo.
I was going to say, that's
He
not
does all
any
my tat.
monkey. That's
Yeah,
Caesar.
it's Caesar. Yeah, he does all my. He did the one of my brother. He does all my tattoos. Um, I want to thank Caleb Dobash, Dobash Co. I want to thank Coach Milo, Kyle. He's my nutritionist. Coach Kaiser, Tom Kaiser. He helped me with my conditioning. Um, oh, there's some more. Oh, Metal Menders. That's my uncle's dent repair company. He's fixed my car plenty of times when I get little dings and stuff. Um, Mogie's Bar and Grill. They let me work on Saturdays, watching the door. Pays me, sponsors me. Kelsey's a really good person. Following the footsteps of her late father. Mogi was a great dude. She's just doing the same thing. She's great, amazing person. Um, Obviously Team Bruno.
Yeah.
That camp every year, just it's a life-changing camp to go to. I want to thank the Math Factory, obviously, Coach Isaac, Yinzer Boxing, obviously Coach Chris, changed my life, changed my striking. Um, I think that's about it right now. If I forgot about you, I still love you. You'll still be on my shirt, but I get
There
punched in
you
the face
go.
for money, so sometimes my memory.
Hey, well, you do have a built-in excuse. That is true about that.
I
So you
use it
know
more
what?
times than I should.
Well, hey, you can get away with it. Just point to your ear, and they have to believe you. Look, look,
Right,
look.
right.
So well done, sir. And it really does make a big difference. I love the variety of your sponsors, the personal connections, some friends, some family. It makes a huge difference. It really is. I think that humility of being grateful for people's support goes.
Oh,
Uh,
I got one more. Sorry. Anthony's towing. Anthony Cannon always makes my fight banners. Great dude, always getting tickets off me, supports the crap out of me. Um, Sorry, I forgot about you, Anthony. Again, if I
like
forgot
you
about anyone
said,
else, I'm sorry too.
I was going to say you already covered Anthony, although it's great that you remembered by saying you love everybody. You're super grateful. You want them to continue to sponsor you. While we're talking about sponsors, because I think this is what's kind of cool about MMA Fancast, we try to support those that are coming up in amateur or pro. Is also to remind people that if you hear an an organization, a person, a business, a towing, a ding removal, whatever it be, a restaurant, whatever it is, if you hear them on this show, make sure you go to that group organization and say, hey, Justin Patton, I really love him. I'm so grateful that you're supporting him because that's part of that. That's part of that loop, right? It's great that they support Justin, but Justin also wants to make sure that you guys are checking them out and supporting them because that's how this all keeps going. And a lot of times, spending your money and supporting people that are supporting causes, people, organizations you support goes a long way. But particularly on the small business side, this is the MBA talking in my brain. You got to let people know that you are hearing about them supporting Justin. That makes everything so much better for them too, because it really does matter to whatever the business happens to be. It makes a big difference. So appreciate that. It's been great. But let's get to, I know you don't always make a prediction, but what are you either going to predict in this fight or what are you going to talk about as far as this matchup, as far as what's going to happen inside the cage when Justin, the General Patton, steps into the cage September 21st?
Um, I think it's gonna be a war. Like he's a tough kid. He doesn't quit. Uh, so I think we're just gonna go at it, and we'll see who's better. You know what I mean? And I'd like to say it's me. You know what I mean? I believe it's me. We'll show everyone, and then we'll show everyone that I'm ready for that next level and to test my metal up there. Uh, that's about it. You know?
A great callback quote. I'm going to quote the great Justin the General Patton. You might remember saying this, some punches in the head, maybe you don't, but last, last interview you said on this show after your big win, you said you've always believed you were the best or at that level, and now you know it. Kind of like the fact that you're proving what you've always believed and wanted to have happen. And that I think is both confidence and it's also based in reality, right? So you always want to look at that. I think that's a great mindset to have. You will find out who's the better fighter that night when you step in the cage, but you're continuing to show that you are literally one of the best pro fighters that's not signed to one of the big organizations. And obviously, I love 247 what they're doing. Ryan Middleton, the owner, and the GM, Hunter Homestack, what they've got planned for their venue, the Sunny Days Center. Is gonna make regional MMA. It's gonna change regional MMA. I am guessing that you will be a big part of their unveiling of. I can only imagine. I know no information. I'm sure you and some of the faces, comma. That's exciting. It was announced today that comma the Death Star Worthy will also be on this card. I know it's been some time since you fought on the same card as Ethan, the Wolverine Goss, but obviously, what's it like when you and Ethan can fight on the same card, or you and comma, some of the literal OGs of Pittsburgh? What's that like for you?
Before that, I got one more sponsor. Sorry, I just remembered it. Russ Green. I can't believe I forgot Russ Green. He's an amazing dude. Go Green Windows. Always sponsor me. Been sponsoring me for years. I can't believe. I'm sorry, Russ. I forgot. He's an amazing person. Love you, Russ. Okay, but it's always great energy fighting with them. You know, because I like fighting with Kama because I mean he's the one who got me into mixed martial arts, and he like sees me like a little brother, and it's like I like to show him that like, dude, I'm here now. You know what I mean? I'm grown. I'm a man. And with Ethan, it's just like we're brothers, you know what I mean? He's super cool dude. We're always rooting for each other. We literally just sit back in the back and BS before we go out there and handle business, you know? It's just we sit there, relax. I don't like to talk to a lot of people before I fight, but I'll sit there and bullshit with Ethan, you know what I mean? Pardon my French. But I'll just chop it up with him before the fights and then we'll go out there and warm up, handle business.
Yeah, it's great, and I'm so honored to be able to see some of that backstage interactions. It's really special. You're kind of known. I've seen it myself. You're kind of known for putting down a blanket and just literally sleeping. I've found you before just back just because you got to save your energy. It's a mindset thing. Whatever people have to do backstage that makes a difference in the performance goes a long way. So obviously, Ethan the Wolverine Goss, I love him. He's an incredible guy. I've always considered him the most handsome man in MMA. I guess you can be the second most handsome man in MMA, but I've always liked to say that about Ethan the Wolverine Goss. Always great to have the general on the show. So thanks so much for coming on the show. Everybody needs to get their tickets, 247fighting.com. Give Justin the General Patton credit. Get him directly from him. Get him from the Matt Factor, really anybody else as well. It's going to be a huge card. There's only been maybe four to six fights announced. Obviously, I've talked about a couple of them. The following 247 Fighting Championships Facebook and some of their other social medias where you can find all that, the 247 Live app. If you're out of the area and going to be supporting the General from long distance, make sure you get the pay-per-view and give the General Patton credit for your pay-per-view as well. Always wonderful having you on the show. Thanks so much. You've been listening to Luke Basin from MMA Fancast with the one, the only, the General, Justin Patton. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
You got it. I really appreciate you coming on the show as well. You take care.
Later.